I can't believe it's our Friday show. Fridays bring so many people into our mix. Very excited to, without delay, bring this next guy on. He is known across social media as the culture blaster when it comes to music, when it comes to movies, when it comes to superhero movies or these subtitle movies out of Korea or whatever. There's no artistic endeavor too obscure for the great culture blaster. Here he is. He comes and goes. Oh, Rainbow! Michael Snyder, everybody. No, Michael, what's happening? I can't hear you.
It's your inability to turn on the volume.
Well, sorry, I'm only working with one hand, okay?
I know.
How
you're
dare
fighting.
you?
How
dare you? How dare you come on?
You're doing your best.
And
I know.
hurl insults at me as your first volley.
How am I supposed to enjoy my post-show cup of Coachella Valley coffee if you can't properly make it on the espresso machine? That's the big
I know,
question.
It's a problem, and I will say this. Michael was with us for the virtual meetup, and Michael, the culture blaster, mentioned to the assembled, he said, I have to say, I have the espresso every time I'm at the studio to do my reviews, and it absolutely is terrific, that Coachella Valley coffee.
You needn't put words into my mouth because, in fact, I will say right here and now, complex flavors, notes of chocolate, notes of yes. I can't even, fruity flavors.
Can you let him finish, sir?
Yeah,
I have never had a better
finish.
cup of
You're
coffee
right.
than Coachella Valley coffee as prepared by the currently injured Mark Thompson. How about that prison sentence dropped on the Proud Boys leader for his actions during the January 6th Capitol riot? Oh, my God. You know what they say? Proud cometh before the fall.
Oh, I get it, because it's a pride thing.
It reminds me a little of the James Brown song. The James Brown song, say it loud, I'm jailed and I'm proud.
Okay.
I
like it. I love you. You're working topical. I love it when you work topical.
You got to work a little on the topical side. Let's talk about movies because that's really my main thrust here on the Mark Thompson Show every Friday morning. We'll kick it off with, I guess, the biggest release of this particular weekend, and it's one that I think a lot of people are going to get a kick out of. The Equalizer 3, or if you prefer, the Threequalizer, is here. And they went to the Sequelizer once more, I guess.
Now, come on, that was worth the ding. Thank you, Albert. That was worth the ding.
Anyway, this action franchise starring Denzel Washington as the avenging assassin do-gooder Robert McCall, and inspired by the durable TV series of the same name, now on its latest iteration with Queen Latifah as kind of a distaff equalizer, has proven to be pretty darn sturdy.
So Queen Latifah does the TV version.
Right.
Denzel Washington does the
two separate
movie version that we're talking about.
Okay.
Here, right. And iterations of Dingler.
Yes,
Go ahead.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Anyway, this time at the movies, our man McCall is in sunny Sicily, which, as we know from countless crime narratives, can also be bloody Sicily due to circumstances.
He's not taking on the mob, is he?
Hang on.
All right.
Due to circumstances that developed during his chosen mission, because he chooses to do things.
Oh, he chooses his mission.
He's an avenging assassin.
Yeah.
McCall finds himself recuperating in a charming little coastal town near Naples, and damned if the old war horse doesn't fall in love with the place, which pushes him to go up against the Neapolitan mobsters.
Oh, because it's being run by dirty mob
They're
people.
Terrorizing the locals. They're oppressing them with the classic mafia protection racket.
Wow.
Let's
this
just say...
Is Joe Box?
Joe Box and Little Anthony.
Yeah, they might be there, actually.
Dude, McCall goes borderline John Wicked on the gangsters, whose drug dealings and payoffs end up having far beyond regional impact. So, brutal violence erupts, much of which is dealt by McCall, not with the speed and kind of cartoonish flair of John Wick, but trust me, bodies do mount up. Plus, the scope of the mob's drug enterprise brings a group of CIA operatives into the picture, and they include a relatively green agent who is singled out as a contact by McCall, and she's played by Dakota Fanning.
Wow.
I know, the one-time child star, now solid as a businesslike adult. I guess in contrast to her cutie pie younger sister, Elle Fanning, who I don't know, I adore in the period comedy series The Great, which I encourage people to seek out. Anyway, Dakota's quite good here. The settings are scenic, and the shootings, knifings, punch-ups, and more are well choreographed and lensed with precision by that accomplished maker of thrillers, Antoine Fuqua, who, by the way, came to prominence directing Denzel's signature film Training Day, as well as both previous Equalizer movies. And Denzel is still the man as McCall, even as the years begin to catch up to him and catch up to the character. Scripted by Richard Wenk, The Equalizer 3 is lean and mean. It breaks no new ground, but it plays well and delivers the goods on the big screen, which is where you'll find it for now.
Wow,
it's in
Michael
theaters.
likes The Sequelizer. He likes the movie. I thought you were going to pan it.
No. Look,
it's not bad, you say.
No, it is popcorn munching fun.
All right, that's why you're the critic.
I was not disappointed. Okay, we need to be disappointed at least once or twice.
Oh, great. Bring it on.
Although I had great expectations considering some of the talent involved, The Good Mother was a disappointment. It's a scattered and flailing and kind of frustratingly inconclusive mishmash of drama and crime thriller with three good actors, nay, sometimes great actors, burdened by a script that seems to be unsure of where to go and how to get there. The actors at the center of this, Oscar winner Hilary Swank, Olivia Cooke, and Jack Rayner, can't help but bring their respective A games to this C-level project, as in the letter C, as in an average grade. Swank is Marissa, a hard-drinking Albany, New York journalist and single mom whose estranged, druggy son is murdered, compelling her to team up with his pregnant girlfriend to try and find out who killed him. Paige, the Prego, is played by Cook. And in the mix is Marissa's other son, a cop played by Rayner, who has issues of his own. So,
wow, everybody sounds pretty troubled in this one.
I know. There's questions of morality, justice, loyalty, and forgiveness.
I was trying to think, a single mother. She seems like I might be able to go out with her.
These questions arise, and any answers offered seem insufficient. The Good Mother, directed and co-written by Miles Jorvis Peyrafit, is one of those stories wherein the truth may not set you free, nor will it move you much, despite some good individual performances by Swank and Cook. You know what? You'd be better off watching Cook in Thoroughbreds and Rayner in Sing Street, both movies, very different films that I recommend highly, and Swank in most anything else.
Yeah,
anyway,
she's great.
The Good Mother is in theaters.
But you're saying it wasn't necessarily performances that were bad here. It was just that you felt the story and script don't hold up.
It ambles. It goes into
ambles is a ding word.
Blind alleys. I don't know.
Okay.
So released alongside the cheerfully violent neo-feminist teen comedy Bottoms, Perpetrator takes a gorier horror movie approach to issues of female subjugation and emancipation.
Subjugation and emancipation is a ding word, too. Okay.
Emancipation is one of the things that we embrace here in America, please. Screenwriter and director Jennifer Reeder has fashioned a surreal, darkly funny, and occasionally gut-churning dive into blood, gender wars, and myth-making that suggests what women may have to do to survive against certain odds. So her teenage heroine, one Jonquil Johnny Baptiste, is a nihilistic petty thief.
Nihilistic.
Played with snark and gusto by Kia McKernan. Johnny is sent by her seemingly disturbed single dad to live with her severe and willfully strange Aunt Hildy, who is played by, and here's a cool Bay Area angle, San Francisco native and 90s teen icon Alicia Silverstone.
Oh, wow.
Of Clueless and Batman and Robin, etc.
Sure.
Okay, so now Silverstone is Aunt Hildy, looking quite well preserved for a maiden auntie. Although she's a bit of a pill, Hildy insists on celebrating Johnny's 18th birthday with a rather unusual cake and the pronouncement that her niece is about to channel some serious inherited supernatural powers on the landmark occasion, which turns out to be a good thing since a number of Johnny's female classmates at her sketchy new high school have gone missing. So Johnny's growing abilities, which seem to channel her emotions, especially anger and empathy, may be necessary to counter the fiendish and quite horrific plans of the perp behind the disappearances. McKernan, Silverstone, and the rest of the cast give their all to the madness in play, and it works. Perpetrator is bizarre, and smart and inventive stuff with fresh imagery and these really sly tonal shifts that stuck with me days after I watched it. Filmmaker Reader is a talent to be reckoned with, and I'm eager to see what she does next. Perpetrator is in theaters, but it's also available for streaming on the scary movie service Shudder.
Oh, that's wild. But this is a scary movie.
It is a horror movie. There's a lot of blood and gore, but it's not as much like stabbing and shooting as, The Equalizer 3. There's some horror. Oh, my God. Anyway. Okay, wait. This is the shocker. Maybe the best movie this week that I saw, and it's been out for a few days. Get ready. As much as I appreciate a handful of performances by Adam Sandler, which are generally dramatic roles or ensemble pieces, and they're usually written and directed by filmmakers of note, I am often singularly unimpressed by his parade of bonehead comedies that stand or fall on the strength or failings of his aggressively lowbrow comic side. But I want to give credit where credit is due.
It's unbelievably offensive.
Yeah. Well, some of the stuff can be offensive.
You are so not invited to my bat mitzvah.
Oh, yeah.
The latest Sandler production for Netflix is actually a treat to watch.
Really?
True to its title, You Are So Not Invited to My Bat Mitzvah leans into Sandler's Jewishness and a recent tendency he has toward nepotism in his movies. I mean...
Nepotism's a dang word.
It features one of his daughters, Sonny Sandler, in the pivotal role of bat mitzvah girl Stacey Friedman, his other daughter, Sadie Sandler, as Stacy's older sister, Ronnie, his wife, Jackie, as the mother of Stacy's BFF, Lydia, and Happy Gilmore, Billy Madison, Waterboy himself, as Danny Friedman, good-natured father to Stacy and Ronnie, and the husband to Bree Friedman, who, by the way, is played by the always effervescent, Idina Menzel, star of Broadway and film.
Of course.
So,
Adele Azim.
For the record, we get restrained Sandler here. It's probably to keep the spotlight on the kids in keeping with the script for You Are So Not Invited to My Bat Mitzvah, which was adapted by Allison Peck and Fiona Rosenblum from Rosenblum's popular book of the same name, and directed with verve by Sammy Cohen.
Verve is a ding word.
Sammy Cohen sounds like an old Jewish songwriter from the 30s. Hey, it's Sammy Cohen. No, Sammy, Sammi. She's a female.
Oh, so this is a very interesting group, actually.
So whatever the reason Sandler's under control,
it came together.
This is a very well-made bit of family entertainment in the spirit of John Hughes's 16 Candles, with a bit of Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret, and other heartfelt coming-of-age comedies. Since it's the 13th year in the lives of Stacy, her best friend Lydia, and their peers in the well-to-do area where they live, the Jewish kids are all having bar and bat mitzvahs under the direction of unconventional Rabbi Rebecca, played by SNL's current and, to me, hilarious wild card Sarah Sherman, who steals every scene she's in. Each kid wants his or her mitzvah bash to top the previous one. Stacy's no exception. She also wants to be accepted by the cool middle school clique and have the cutest guy in her class be her boyfriend. And when she and Lydia have a falling out over the boy in question, a series of digital volleys drive the girls farther apart. It's funny and sweet, and it rings true in its depiction of adolescent relationships with all the affection and the friction and the angst that implies. And with its focus on the kids, the smaller doses of the adults who fret over them go down easy. So Sherman, Menzel, Luis Guzman plays Lydia's dad. He's kind of
no, that's funny.
Fun to see here. A group of familiar female character actors are synagogue yentas. And, of course, you get Adam Sandler and all her welcome presences, but none of it would fly without likable, relatable, realistic performances by Sonny Sandler as Stacy and another find, Samantha Lorraine as Lydia. You can call Sonny a Nepo baby at your own peril. As the Sandman's daughter, she was born on third base, for sure, but she hit a home run here.
Oh, I love how you brought it home with the,
Okay, so
third base home run. By the way, Yenta is a ding word, Albert.
Well, it's a Yiddish ding word.
Right, whatever.
You are not so invited. You are so not invited to my bat mitzvah is available in some theaters. But you know what? It's on Netflix, baby.
Yeah, it's a streamer, huh?
I watched it a couple days ago, and I thought it was pretty good. That Jewish rabbi is hilarious. Love her.
Right, that's Sarah Sherman.
Yeah.
If you don't know her from SNL, she is a panic. She will do anything, no matter how gross or crazy.
Oh.
And that's to her credit.
Oh, that's cool.
I was surprised at what good actresses the Sandler girls are. I don't think they've ever been really in anything like this before in such big roles, and they were great.
And now as Sunny runs with it, she gets the.
There's never been anything like this.
I was shocked. Let me tell you, I was shocked at how much I enjoyed this.
Do you need to know any of the Torah
You know
for this,
what?
Michael? Or
Wait,
you
wait.
need some kind of Jewish
You
background?
don't have to be Jewish to enjoy Levy's rye bread, or you are so not invited to my bat mitzvah.
Okay, all right.
Anyway, so a quick note on some TV shows.
Yes, sir, please. Go ahead.
show
Our last
action.
minute or two. Go ahead.
Ahsoka is on Disney Plus, starring Rosario Dawson. It's a Star Wars TV series. She plays her Jedi Knight character from Clone Wars and The Mandalorian. It's very much about dealing with the time between beating Darth Vader and his forces and what eventually happens during the New Republic's growth as sinister villains kind of gather and prepare to try to take back control of the Empire. You get Mary Elizabeth Winstead, Ray Stevenson, and David Tennant, the great David Tennant, voices a droid, and he's terrific. Plus, I really must point out a couple other really good shows I'm watching. Harlan Coben's Shelter on Prime Video is a miniseries adaptation of his young adult novel about missing children, sinister forces, and Nazis. It's very addictive.
Wow.
And finally, guess what started today? Dropped its 5th and final season on Netflix. Disenchantment, Matt Groening's Magical Realm animated sitcom. With the feisty Princess Bean, the elfin Elfo, and Lucy the Demon. I have enjoyed the first 4 seasons of this. It's not Futurama, it's not The Simpsons, but it's got that kind of offbeat humor. And so I say yay to Disenchantment, and that's about it.
I love it. So You Are Not Invited to My Bat Mitzvah was also reviewed by the Culture Blaster. He really liked it. He liked a lot of things, and Kim really liked it. She popped in to say really loved it. So that sounds like it might be and good for the whole family.
The entire family, and Sunny Sandler has skills, baby. They may be inherited, but you know she's wonderful as the central figure.
So it's Sunny Sandler and Sandy Sandler and Sammy Sandler? Is that how he named them? How did he name his kids?
It's
Sunny Sandler. Who's
Sunny
the other one?
Sandler. The other one,
Sandy Sandler?
No.
There's another one.
No,
though.
she's Stacey Friedman. It's Sadie Sandler.
Sadie Sandler. There it is. Okay, thank you. Well, good. I'm glad the Sandlers came up with. They finally hit some pay dirt.
Yeah, you know, every time he shoves them into a movie, I'm like, oh, really? And finally,
it comes together. Good for them. Perpetrator is the film that's a horror movie, but you really liked it.
Smart and moody, and
that's the Alicia Silverstone.
Well, she plays Aunt Hildy, but yeah,
but that's when she's in it.
She's a significant character, but she's not the central figure.
Okay, and The Good Mother. Michael felt with that star-studded cast led by Hilary Swank. The cast was fine, but the film sort of misses.
It's the not-so-good mother, if you will.
As it turns out, the film is not so good, even though the mother is apparently good. And The Equalizer 3. Now, you don't have to have seen Equalizer 1 and 2.
I will say that those people who have seen at least the second one, there are a couple payoffs, but they're not important. I didn't remember what the connections were, and I just completely... I went with the flow, baby, and the flow was pretty bloody.
You really liked it.
There's a level of passion that I've never seen.
Well, I think I've seen it before, but the passion, but I thought it was nonetheless impressive. I didn't think you'd like The Equalizer 3, and the fact that you do intrigues me. So that's the way we see it. Any comments on Giants and Niners?
The mighty Giants are struggling to get a hold of that third wild card spot and maybe even leapfrog the Chicago Cubs, with whom they have, I think, some coming battles before the season's out. And good God, am I thrilled at Kyle Harrison, the young kid they brought up from AAA. And the other rookies, Patrick Bailey plays like he's been in the game for a decade. I can't believe we found such a terrific catcher in the wake of Buster Posey. and he seems unfazed, and he calls a great game. And, of course, let's not forget, Yaz is back, baby.
How about that? Albert was talking about that.
Mike Yastrzemski's back. The guy's got baseball in his blood.
Was it who had a great outing recently, though? I know we've kind of struggled lately, but didn't from pitching, I thought.
Alex Cobb, baby.
Cobb, exactly.
Yes,
Cobb had a great. He came within one batter of a no-hitter, right?
Yes, he cobbled together a great performance.
Oh, my God. All right.
Yes, I'm very unhappy with everything
I'm
curious.
How
why
dare you,
do
Michael?
we?
He comes and goes. He stayed too long this time. Bye-bye, Michael.
Go
we love
Niners!
you. We love you. We
Giants!
love you. The Culture Blaster, if you're looking for him. You can find him